Welcome back. Today I want to show you how I make my vegan French toast, which has the perfect texture and flavor, just like traditional French toast. This recipe is the first one in my vegan Christmas recipe series, so of course we're going to start with breakfast. As usual, if you want to follow along, the link to the recipe will be in the description box below. So the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my griddle over medium heat. You can also use a skillet if you don't have a griddle. The next thing I'm going to do is prepare my custard that we're going to be soaking the bread in. So I'll mix up 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 3 tablespoons of aquafaba, a teaspoon of vanilla, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 teaspoon of ground flaxseed, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I'll just set that aside to let it thicken for about 5 minutes. In case you're wondering why I'm using both aquafaba and ground flaxseed, because they are both egg replacers, the reason is because that just gave me the best texture. It gives a nice combination of crunchy on the outside and soft and creamy on the inside. And the nutritional yeast is just to add a little bit of that eggy flavor to the custard. While that's thickening, I'm going to slice my bread into slices that are about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch thick. Depending on how big your loaf is, the custard should be enough for about 4 to 6 slices of bread. I'm using a loaf of French bread, but you could use Italian bread or vegan brioche or vegan challah. I just wouldn't recommend using a bread that's already sliced because your slices will be too thin and your bread will fall apart. A lot of people also like to use bread that's a couple of days old for French toast. I find that it comes out good either way, so do you. Now I'm just gonna set up a few plates with custard and lay the slices of bread in the custard to soak. You're gonna wanna leave the slices in the custard for at least 3 minutes. Depending on how absorbent your bread is, you might need to leave it for up to 8 minutes to really soak in that custard. And once one side is soaked, then you're just gonna flip it over and soak the other side. So once my first pieces of bread are soaked, then they are ready to be cooked on the stove. I am going to use half vegan butter and half spray oil. You could use one or the other if you like. I like to use the vegan butter because it adds a little bit of flavor, but the spray oil is also a little lighter than the vegan butter, so I just like the combination of the two. Use whatever you like. So I'm gonna cook my French toast until it turns a nice golden brown color, which should take about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. We're going for a crispy outside and a soft, creamy inside. The French toast is ready, so now I'm just going to top it with some powdered sugar, vegan whipped cream, raspberries, and maple syrup. And that's it. This one is super simple, so it is perfect for a lazy Christmas breakfast. That's all for this one, but just like my Thanksgiving recipes, I have a ton of Christmas recipe videos coming up. If you can't wait for those, I'll put a link in the description below where you can find all the recipes on my website. Thanks for watching. See you next time.